Moon signs and storylines.
Hello, astrology enthusiasts.
Hello, astrology enthusiasts. Welcome to Moon Signs
And storylines.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Kimberly. And I'm so glad that you're here.
Please do share our videos with other astrology enthusiasts because that's the only way our little channel is going to grow.
So here at Moon Signs and Storylines, we believe every new moon and full moon carries its own unique story and influence.
Full moons illuminate, exposing what's ready to be seen.
Yes, and new moons, on the other hand, are darker, more mysterious and internal. They invite us to plant the seeds of intention for the path ahead.
As the moon travels around the earth, it moves with purpose, revealing the story of the moment.
Yeah, and these stories influence us, shedding the light on relationships between the sun and the moon and the complexities of life.
So here at Moon Signs and Storylines for fun, we uncover these stories of the moon by analyzing the chart.
The chart gives us space to pause, to reflect, and realign.
And to bring these moon storylines to life, we'll use our own references, unbeknownst to each other, from an historic figure, to a song, to an event, to a children's book, to a tree.
Yes, we've done that. Because existence isn't simple. It's layered, full of nuances. References like the chart reveal these complexities.
So what is the story behind the sun and the moon on May 12th?
Well, let's start by exploring the moon's character.
And then?
How the chart and the reference shape the story.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This is the most intense moon cycle
In the spring.
of the spring. Mm-hmm. So when we see springtime, we see this like blooming of flowers.
In California, we get to witness these beautiful calla lilies growing everywhere.
Which represent death. They're the flower of death, by the way. Scorpio.
Oh, and I had them at my wedding.
Did you really? Oh my gosh. Anywho.
I'm still married, so maybe, I don't know.
Let us know what you think of the calla lilies. But it does represent spring a lot. Like they are blossoming.
Renewal.
Everywhere. And it's like renewal.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the calla lily really represents the full moon in Scorpio. Not that that's my reference. So we think of Taurus, the sun in this episode, and the moon being in Scorpio. But we think of Taurus being that steadfastness of spring. So it's really that fixed energy that's making things blossom and making things grow. So we're really thinking of like earth qualities, and we're thinking of what the earth's resources is. But Scorpio, we're looking at what we don't have. We're looking at what's unhitting, what's intense, what we need to like expose to make life evolve.
Yeah, it's all about evolution, y'all. Scorpio, like we said, is intense, it's transformational, it's passionate, wants to get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
Problem is, there's no bottom for a Scorpio.
Yeah,
It just
there's no
keeps
bottom.
going deep. Truth is going to reveal itself if we like it or not. And there's a little bit of Uranus with this.
In this one.
And this one. So, yeah, it's going to be some flipping the table.
What do we taste? What do we feel? What do we have? What do we want? What needs to be uncovered? Because it's going to be.
Yeah. Raw truth on its way.
On its way.
On its way. So we're excited.
We are excited.
Yeah.
So the nuances of this chart, there is Aquarius on the sun. There is a quintile to the moon with this leading planet of Scorpio, which gives it kind of a mystical pull in my sense. And there is Jupiter square to the nodal axis. So there's an importance of storytelling. So my hook, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to give you a quote of my person. Learn from everything, see everything, and above all, feel everything. And I got one more. Oh my God, we got Judgment here. That was the card I pulled. And then my hook is, I gotta find her signature. And then there is her signature right there. And then that is my hook.
Okay, why don't you just tell it like it is right now. Okay, well, this is new. So my hook is, it's time to reclaim our power, showing the world who we truly are. It's time to shed our old image, reborn ourselves out of the shadows, like ... And really this is a story, a live story on how to pivot.
Nice. Because we are transforming, and we're taking what we know and we're learning from it.
And then we're going to expose the truth.
We're going to expose the truth. You ready?
Yes.
I do the same thing.
Okay, I got you. So I get to choose. And I get to choose. And I choose me.
Okay. Kimberly's going first.
I'm going to reclaim my power. I choose me. You like that?
Yeah, I do like that.
Oh, my goodness, y'all. Okay. So, the full moon in Scorpio wants depth, transformation, raw truth, while Taurus, well, the sun in Taurus wants peace, something comfortable, and stability. I see the full moon as intensity, Scorpio moon, versus simplicity, Taurus sun. Secrets, Scorpio moon, versus security, Taurus sun. Passion, Scorpio moon, versus Taurus's sense of presence, of being there. This full moon shines a light on what's hidden beneath what looks fine. So it may look fine, but we're going to look beneath what's fine. I saw this full moon was the story of an album. When you talk about storytelling, it's this album is a story. It was born. The album is called Reputation by Taylor Swift. And the lyric is, they took the crown, but it's mine now. Very Scorpio full moon.
Yeah, and then with the Taurus there's so much hard work into making an album. And then with the art there's raw emotion of that Scorpio power.
Ouch. And that says a lot about the whole album of Reputation. This is a time to embrace our shadow, protect our peace, and reclaim our power. And that's exactly what the album did. So let's talk a little bit about the album. It all started with Kanye, when he was Kanye. Now he's Ye or Ye or something.
Yeah.
But when he was Kanye, Taylor Swift was given an acceptance speech at the Grammys, and he walked up there and interrupted the speech.
And she was young at this point.
She was 17. She didn't understand what was happening. She was very poppy, very country music and poppy, and she had a huge following of young girls at the time. And she wrote songs for young girls that they all could identify at her age. So after that, he wrote a song called Famous. Because in his eyes, he made her famous because he went up on stage to her acceptance speech. So I think that people that probably didn't follow Taylor, after seeing that, they're like, well, who is this young girl that he had to go and be so rude? Well, anyway, there's these tapes because Kanye called Taylor and recorded it.
That you're talking about that he made afterwards.
Right. He wrote the song and he wanted to use her name in the song, asked permission, and she didn't agree to it. So the song came out, and then she got upset, so her people called his people, said there was no agreement. Well, they leaked the video, an edited part of the video where it looked like she agreed to her name being in the song. Well, the media did a backlash on her, came after her. Even Kim Kardashian came out and said, put snake emojis on all of her social media. So for a whole year, she went underground. She felt betrayal. Even her fans betrayed her. They were putting snake emojis, calling her snake, saying all these horrible things. So she went underground and she made an album called Reputation. So that's what she did. Then it came out that the whole video came out, and then she got vindicated. But it was after she'd written the album Reputation. She said, I'm not going to talk about the album at all. I'm going to let the album speak for itself. And the first couple of songs, it's really about betrayal and how she came back. The whole album is about different parts of her reputation because we have different parts to our personality.
Yeah, it's deep, man.
Yes.
We're deep, all of us. Even Taylor Swift is deep, I hear.
Yes, and so when she came back, she erased all of her social media and she put 3 pictures of snakes. And then a couple of days later, she came out with the album Reputation. And so there you go. And in the song, Look What You Made Me Do, which is direct to what they made her do, they said, can the old Taylor come to the phone? And they said no, because she's dead. And that was a way of saying that Taylor that you saw prior to this whole thing I'm another Taylor now. Another Taylor. And her music, the songs were so different from her previous work. Like it was strong, it was risque, she struck out. And like, this is who I am. And if you don't like who I am, I'm going to be more me than ever before. And it was a whole new person. And I saw that as the full moon opposing Uranus in Taurus. That's that piece. It's that shocking piece. Scorpio digs for truth and Uranus flips the table. And that's exactly what happened with that song, Reputation.
She knew herself, man.
Boy, did she not know herself.
She knew herself.
So I saw that as the shock factor of Reputation. She came back with a new, bold sound. And it was a shock from her old music. So, and in this, there's a lyric that says, I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. But I got smarter and I got harder.
Ow!
Yes.
I love the shimmy that you did too.
Yes. So, this is how we can use this aspect. Let the breakdowns clear the path and let the shakeups set us free. So, I looked at the leading planet, which is Pluto. Pluto's in Aquarius. And it's square in Mercury and Taurus. Taurus is about stability and simplicity, and Mercury is about how we think and how we speak. So this aspect forces us into uncomfortable conversations and power shifts. So Taylor had to face a massive media takedown. But rather than fighting it directly, she let the music speak for her. This mirrors how Pluto in Aquarius demands transformation. And Mercury in Taurus challenges us to reshape how we communicate with each other. We can use this energy wisely by choosing our battles wisely.
And she did.
And she did. And reshape how we communicate. Then Pluto in Aquarius sextiles Neptune in Aries. This represents a collective shift and a creative rebirth. Pluto breaks down old power structures, while Neptune and Aries fuels fearless, visionary approach. So Taylor showed us how to take control of our own narrative.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the fire. Mars and Leo, trining Venus and Aries. Whoa, that's just fire. Pure fire, passion, confidence, and refusal to back down. The album Reputation is full of bold, dramatic energy. It's about standing in your own power and owning your desires and not apologizing for who you are. Now, in the album Reputation, like I said, because we're multifaceted, we have different reputations with different people.
Yeah.
So the first couple of songs in Reputation was more of her vengeance, like I'm coming back. Later, it was really about her reputation with her newfound lover. So there's a song called The Dress. And I think this talks about the Mars and Leo and the Venus and Aries. Says, I only bought this dress so you could take it off. Whoa. So I'm asking you, what are you going to buy on this full moon in Scorpio to take off?
And I feel like full moon in Scorpio is very sensual, is very sexual. So leading and hinting onto that with these fire planets is
perfect.
Is perfect.
Absolutely perfect. Reputation wasn't revenge. It was a calculated rebuild. Ooh.
Calculated rebuild.
Which is also represents the sun in Taurus. The best way we can use this is to channel our emotions in a purposeful way, a purposeful energy, like she showed us.
Yeah.
By writing music. Now, there's a lyric. There's a song called Delicate. And the lyric to that is, my reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me.
Yeah.
That speaks so well of how she turned strategy into something much more powerful.
Yeah, and then it goes again with the full moon in Scorpio, but also with Uranus conjunct that sun, because we represent our individual self.
Oh, beautifully said. Thank you. I mean, she created the best album ever after this, in Reputation, after all this betrayal. She felt very betrayed by the public.
Yeah.
And then so then I look at Chiron in Aries, sextile in Jupiter in Gemini. This is storytelling. This is about turning wounds into wisdom and making a bold statement. Chiron in Aries is all about healing through courage, while Jupiter in Gemini expands the message. Swift just didn't process her pain privately. She turned it into the biggest album of her friggin' career.
And she transformed herself.
Absolutely. Even, so the lyric goes, she has a song that Call It What You Want, and the lyric is, even in my worst of times, you could see the best of me. Can you say that about yourself? Probably not me, but I'm going to work on that.
I mean, you can do it on May 12th.
Yeah. We could do this on May 12th.
Yeah. So I feel that's inspiring. I have never been a Taylor Swift fan, but I am a transformation fan. And
we might make her a Swiftie.
And I am into taking what someone else said and then transforming that and owning it and then making that part of me and saying, Thank you for
Now she proved and showed us that embracing one's scars can lead to greater success. Yeah. My final thoughts. You take Scorpio's intensity, Taurus stability, and Aquarius rebellion, and that mirrors the album Reputation. A story of transformation, breaking free, and owning your power. The emotions may be strong during this full moon, but like Taylor, we're stronger. And we're unshaken. And we're ready for whatever comes next. That's how we're going to do this full moon in Scorpio. Right?
I might be a Swiftie now. Thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And to all the Swifties out there, I hope I did your girl right. And telling my story. Yeah, Reputation.
Full moon's intense, man, and it really is about taking hard times and turning it into something powerful.
Yeah, I thought it was a real life pivot story. We saw how she pivot. I mean, I've crumbled with lesser things. Okay, so let's go to the tarot cards. Let's see how you're going to mend this story around the full moon.
Alright, so I totally believe that this full moon in Scorpio is taking, is exposing hidden gems and making them really special. I picked Pamela Coleman Smith as my
Too bad I don't know her, but I'm going to be enlightened about Pamela,
Coleman Smith. So one of the things that we saw within this chart is the leading planet has so many beautiful aspects. one is one of the most mystical aspects. It is a minor one, the quintile and sesqui-quintile, which is part of the pentagram, which represents mysticism, occultness, especially connected to Pluto, the moon itself, and then the sun with Uranus. Mysticism, alchemy, trying to put all these thoughts into understanding nature and the elements, because we are in Taurus. And then Mercury has that square to Pluto, the ruling planet. And that gives us like a... squares give us like this raw edge to need to like break free and to change in a way. And Uranus...
makes some adjustments.
Yeah. And Pluto in Aquarius is all about that. Mercury in Taurus is a little bit stubborn. But our person took a tool that's been around forever and she changed it and gave it to the people. And this tool is really helpful to understand communication and communication within vision and within form. And she's like the master of that.
Okay.
And then there's that fire trine. There's that fire trine, and she just represents just bravery in art and bravery in being herself and being like a full force of natural energy and fire. And throughout her life, she was in the forefront of change. And then last, Jupiter is square to the nodal axis. And this is a mutable square. So it's about flexibility. It's about understanding, being open. And the T-square release is in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius uses all that energy and puts it like in a story for philosophy and for like deeper meaning. So we can...
And many adventures.
So with all that, I thought of Pamela Coleman Smith as my representative of this full moon in Scorpio.
Wow.
So
who is she?
So Pamela Coleman...
Do y'all know who she is?
Pamela Coleman Smith is an artist from the 1900s during the Edwardian years, where it was very much a time where we're going from religious times or Elizabethan times into modern times. And in this period, there was a lot of fascination with alchemy, with tarot, with astrology, and groups like the Golden Dawn formed that were really much into the occult. So she has that flair, that pentagram within this full moon chart that really highlights creativity and mysticism. Also, Pamela Coleman Smith, in her most famous, was the secret artist of the tarot deck. And she didn't get credit. So when we talk about that Uranus by the sun and the hidden gems of this full moon, it was Called the Rider-Waite tarot deck, but now everyone's calling it the Rider-Waite Smith tarot deck.
Oh, they've included her now.
Yeah, and I think we should give it Smith Rider-Waite tarot deck.
Okay, well, speaking like a true artist.
But she is a phenomenal person. I recommend everyone to look her up, because not only was she infamous for doing the art of the tarot deck, she also did a book with Bram Stoker. She characterized one of his last books. She fought for women's right to vote, women's suffrage, and was really
My kind of lady.
Really champion of the Red Cross and helping people in need. So I think that's part of that fire trine that we see too. Look her up, Pamela Coleman Smith. And I'm just going to go over the aspects a little bit deeper. So we have Pluto, the leading planet. And it is in Aquarius, and as I said, she kind of was a part of a cult. She loved the occult, which is very Scorpio. And that's where she met A.E. Waite, and he commissioned her to make the tarot deck.
And, I think omens is very Scorpion.
Oh, for sure.
It's very Scorpion energy. So, yeah, that's what and to me, these cards are omens.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So, like, each card has a picture and a form that really connects us to, like, a part of humanity, a part of life, so we can look deeper into it and see how that reflects within us, too.
Right. Strong creative intent.
Yeah, which we see in the quintile to Pluto and this moon. So if you want to feel like this creative urge of energy, of this artistic mysticism, if you want to change, iron into gold, it's this full moon.
Ooh. Yes, we can turn our cherished ideas into manifestations.
The hidden gems within us. Yeah, so she met A.E. Waits in this occult called the Golden Dawn, and he commissioned her to draw the images on the tarot deck. Together, this whole group thought deeply, Scorpio, about what the higher arcana is going to symbolize and what symbols they're going to bring to it. But this is where Mercury in Taurus square to Pluto, the leading planet, in Aquarius comes. She took the lower arcana and she made it her own. Oh. So before there was no pictures, there was 10 cups and there was 10 cups. Like before there was no pictures, there was 7 wands and there was just 7 wands. But she gave it life and form, and now we really see like seven of wands. You can see that you're in the middle of kind of battling. You're in the middle of kind of defending your ideas, defending your spirituality, and defending your spirit, really, against these other wands coming, and you're straddling a river. So you're kind of like knowing that there's 2 sides, and what side are you fighting for? In a sense, like, each card kind of has its own little thing that you can take on, like the color green, how many little leaves are on it. And she gave this lower arcana a voice and something that people that didn't really study the cards really understood just by the vision on it. So she gave it to the community. She gave it to people.
She gave it texture.
And now most people use the cards and they can feel it and they understand what's going on. So that's the Mercury square to the Pluto, the leading planet. We already talked about the quintex, which is one of my favorites. And then there's also the sextile to Neptune. And what more than visions of trying to connect to a different realm, to something bigger than yourself. And we can do that through the tarot decks, through the art of Pamela Coleman Smith. Okay, other aspects that I think are fun is just how much fire she had, and how much fire is in this, like, secret fire is in this full moon, with Aries, with Venus being in Aries and Mars being in Leo. Let your freak flag or your mystic flag fly. Like, if you have a dream or a vision or something, like, be proud of it. Shout it out. Like, feel it, Like,
go do something with it.
Yeah, go do something with it. Talk to your spirit guides. Like, enjoy the other connections around us that are powerful, more powerful than we are, that I can't even explain how powerful they are. Like, that's how big they are. But that's possible, I swear, on this full moon. And then just the beauty of Jupiter being squared to the nodal axis. So the nodal axis right now is in Virgo, Pisces, and we're learning lessons about the micro and the macro and how our daily activities really affect everything at large, kind of the butterfly effect. Then we have Jupiter in Gemini, which just is curious, is open-minded, luckily, and we can see, like, even though we're from different countries or different states or different political parties, we still can be friends and friendly and kind of learn from each other.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, that is a possibility. I swear.
Okay, it is possible.
And then, so there's a T-square, so maybe there is tension where we don't know. We have this ability to be open-minded and open to communicate to people that have different ideas, mostly for curiosity of why do you have that idea, and then,
right,
digest it a little bit.
So the release is in Sag.
The release is in Sag.
So that means don't get stuck in your dharma.
And also find beauty in the story. So every story kind of has a moral lesson. And the tarot cards, like, how many stories are in here? I can't even remember off the top of my head. But each card has a story, just like each person has a story, and we should learn from that. So, see people as they are, and then know that they have something that they can teach you and you can learn from. And in them, there's hidden gems as well. So we're unearthing stuff. Unearth it in yourself. Unearth it in your relationships. Use the cards to let you know if you're on the right track, to really go deep into your soul, into your spirituality.
Which I think is a really important lesson on this full moon. Because this full moon is in two fixed signs that really, Scorpio, I'm not going to say they don't like change or do like change, but they can get stuck. And Taurus is stuck. Well, I mean, can get. They are, and I think with the release being in Sag, it's saying be open to different journeys.
Yeah.
Which is a great lesson for this full moon. Yeah,
because we are going to be on a journey of digging in and finding those hidden gems. Yeah. So here's a hidden gem. Pamela Coleman Smith. Look her up.
Yeah, it makes me want her deck of cards.
Yeah.
I don't have her deck of cards.
Oh, wow. It's the only deck to have.
Oh, well, obviously.
My babies.
Yeah. So, on this full moon, what is your plan for the full moon? What is going to be unearthed and what's going to be exposed for you?
Yeah. Journal it. Keep it in your heart.
Right.
And
always look for the gems, like you say. There's gems in everything. So look for the gem and be open to opportunity. So, if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, share with anyone who loves astrology, anyone who's a Swiftie or a tarot card reader. Invite them into watching our video.
Yeah.
And remember, today is a new day and a new opportunity to make this world a much better place. Cheers. Transform.
Thank you, guys.